So today we are doing a mock draft. Why not? I have not done a mock draft in quite a while. The last time I had done a mock draft was before phase 1 of the draft lottery. Before that I was doing tons. Phase 2 happened, we found out the Rangers, and then the rest of them, where everyone's going, qualifying rounds over, first round, second round, conference final is, we'll see that's over pretty soon, the next couple of days. Finals are going to be coming, and we have the draft in 22 days. Now, I like to talk about some mock drafts here. Now, before this draft, I would love to do every single week, or maybe even more than once a week, mock draft for them. Change up what players go well, and if you think that player shouldn't be going there, next week, that player is going to be a different team for my video, my mock draft. So, watch, see what you think about the first one. Second one, you might agree more than the first one. Third one, you might like better than any of them. Fourth or fifth, whatever it's going to be. Enjoy. This is mock draft number 1, and let's get started for the 2020 draft. So, you know who is first overall now. All that stuff we talked about. I'm going for number 16 because my favorite team, the Canadiens. And why not? I used to do top 15, but in this, I'm going to give exception to my Canadiens. So this is NHL Hockey News Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe. Be much appreciated. Almost at 30 subs. I'm really hoping to get there pretty soon. 6 away. So really close. Thank you for all your support. Now we're going to be looking at top 16. Starting off with number 16. And if you want me to start with number 1 and go to 16 in the next video, let me know in the comments below. And let's get started. Number 16, the Montreal Canadiens. Brendan Schneider. Now he's a D-man. He's a right-handed defenseman, so he'll be on the right side. And he's a big guy. He's a good defenseman. And I think the Canadiens, I know people said, no, we don't want him. But to me, I kind of like him. I really do. And he would be a great right-handed defenseman for us. Next couple of years, there's some great left-handed defensemen. Romanov, Strutzler, Norlinder, and Jordan Harris coming up in the next couple of years as prospects. And having someone on the right side would be pretty good, and we have our defense be fantastic if we can have that happen. So I would love that, Brendan Schneider. Some don't want that, some would want someone else, which we will in the next couple of weeks. I won't pick Brendan Schneider for a second time in a row because it would make it boring. Let's look at number 15. Now this was traded to the Maple Leafs from the Penguins for Kasperi Kapanen. So Kasperi Kapanen is part of the Penguins. And one thing that was going back the other way of many things is the Leafs get the first overall pick of 2020, and it's a 15th overall pick. And I'm sure the Maple Leafs try to go back for the 13th overall pick. And I'm sure Kapanen was a one. I'm sure the Canes will love to have Kapanen, but they're not giving up that 13th overall pick. They're like, no, thank you. So the Penguins will give up their 15th overall pick because Maple Leafs did not have a first round pick, so now they do. 15th overall, and here we go. Let me tell you who it is. Dylan Holloway. He's a good winger. He can score, he can play make, he can do all that stuff. He can be a great offensive guy in the future. They can go for Schneider, they can go for Holloway, but Holloway would be a solid player for the Leafs in the years to come with the young core as they have right now. So let's move on to now number 14. Here we go. Kind of lost my place for a second, Mike. That's the player I'm talking about, right? Yes, the Oilers have Dawson Mercer. Now, Dawson Mercer is a great, speedy winger. on the right side, and he gets the puck, he moves, play makes, kind of like Blake Wheeler they've been talking about. And I think that would be a great player for the Oilers. You have McDavid at center, you have Drysdale also at center, you have Nugent Hopkins, and someone on the wing. They need people on the wing. So a great prospect like Dawson Mercer, speedy guy, plays like Blake Wheeler, he would be great, and someone they kind of need in the future for sure to bolster the forward group on the wing. Center is fine. The wing, they need help. Number 13, here we go. Let's go on to number 13. This was the pick the Leafs originally had. Here we go. Yaroslav Askarov. Now, one thing Carolina Hurricanes could use is a goalie, a prospect goalie like Askarov. You might think there's Darinikic, who's in Charlotte Checkers. Will he become something? I don't know. It's interesting. They have a great forward group. They have a great defense group for the Hurricanes. Something they can use as a great goalie. Again, they had Cam Ward for many years, great goalie. But Yaroslav Askarov, a great Russian guy. In the back of their minds, great young team. You have Askarov, next couple of years, he could be something very precious to the team. And though that pick could be, if he doesn't become a guy, that would be great. It's not like it hurts them at all. It really doesn't. They have a great forward group. They have a great defense group. So Askarov would be the guy I could go for. If he's available at number 13, I don't see how the Hurricanes don't pick him at number 13. Let's go on to the next one, and that's number 12. That's Seth Jarvis. Great winger, speedy guy, great guy, scores goals. He's a great player, and the Panthers could use a prospect like this. I know Owen Tipp is coming up. He'll probably play next year. Hoffman and Dadonov, 2 UFAs. Do they sign one of them? Do they let both of them go? I don't see them signing both. That's not possible. So having Tippett come up, a prospect Jarvis, that will help them. I know they could use a defenseman, but the next couple of defensemen will be taken early on this draft, so you'll see what happens there. Going on to number 11. Here we go. And that's Anton Londell. Anton Londell is a guy who doesn't do something amazing, like has this off the charts. He does everything great. Okay, he does little everything. Defensive, he scores, he play makes, he does little this, little that, little this, little that, little of everything he does. And the Predators could use a prospect in general. The prospect pool is pretty dull, except Ilya Tolvanen, but he should be in the NHL by now, hopefully. So they could use, it's kind of dried up, the prospect pool, really is. So Lundell would kind of give them light in the prospect pool and a guy they can look forward to. Number 10, here we go. And a guy I'm sure Jets fans will love to have, and that's Jake Sanderson. One thing they need badly is defense. They lost Bufflin last year. This year, no Miles. Two big guys on the blue line. Sherratt, have guys who leave and not there anymore. And they were left with the defense in Holtz. Trouba, too. He got traded for Bjork, which I think is a great deal for the Jets. But Sanderson would be a great defenseman and would be a great guy. Second best defenseman in the draft. Some saying, should you draft Sanderson over Drysdale? That's a separate video we can talk about later. But that would be a great defenseman to have for Jake Sanderson, and it would be a win-win deal for the Jets. Number 9, let's write it down. And that's Jack Quinn. Goal scorer, absolutely fantastic in the Ottawa 67s with Monko Rossi. And he can just be exploding on the right side. Beginning of the year, you might not know who Jack Quinn is, but now you do. And Wild would have a fantastic offensive guy here. They're great defensively, goaltending, they could use help for prospects. but I don't know if you want to pick Askarov. And Jack Quinn would add to that, bolster that. Forward group, you have Boldly as a prospect. Kaprizov is going to be playing next year. Great Russian player. What? My goodness. Best KHL player, literally, last year. And he has some great players coming up. Jack Quinn will be another fantastic prospect for sure. Number 8, here we go. And that's Cole Perfetti. You can put him at center, you can put him on the wing. He's a fantastic, offensive, entertaining player. And they got Nick Cousins last year at center. Cole Perfetti. There we go. My bad. Cole Perfetti. I took a lot about Cole Caulfield. That's why. Cole Perfetti is a great offensive, dynamic player, and adding to offense with Eichel. Eichel's not the only guy with Reinhardt. Would be great to have him on the team. You can put him on the wing, you can put him at center, you can do that stuff, it'll be great, and he'll be a great dynamic player for the Buffalo Sabres. And I don't see him trading that that's 8th overall. I would not do that, that's not wise. I don't think they should whatsoever. Number 7, here we go. And that's Alexander Holtz. Now, Alexander Holtz is he is the Cole Caulfield of this draft. Last year, the best goal scorer was Cole Caulfield in 2019. 2020, the best goal scorer in this draft is Alexander Holtz. And you get him right with the Devils here. They don't need center depth, really. They have Hughes and Heschel. Gets him on the wing. Alexander Holtz, best goal scorer. We've been talking about him for so long. It's now for him to be drafted in 22 days. So glad for him. And yes, Alexander Holtz will be a great guy. We have Kyle Palmieri. Do you keep him? Do you re-sign him next year? You could. If you don't, that's what happens. But Holtz will fill that gap one day, hopefully, because he's a great goal scorer. Number 6, here we go. And that's Monko Rossi goes to the Anaheim Ducks. Monko Rossi's an absolute dynamic center. Imagine having a future Trevor Zegras and then Monko Rossi as your top 1-2 centers. That would be absolutely amazing. Yes, it would. And I would not be surprised if the Red Wings go pick him or the Senators go pick him. Not number 3, number 2, number 1, but 4 through 6 or 7. 8th is, it's a little light there. But I really feel like the Ducks would just get a fantastic offensive guy. They could use another guy like this and would definitely add to the prospect pool. Number 5, here we go. That's Lucas Raymond. Lucas Raymond is a great right winger, great player. Kind of reminds me like Mitch Marner at times. Great player and a solid guy. Knows what he's doing. And it's a win for them, for sure. At number 5, for Lucas Raymond. Great player, absolutely. Let's look at number 4. You probably thought this was coming, and you're right, because number 4 is Jamie Drysdale. Last year you picked Morissette at number 6. It was a surprise one, literally. Who thought Morissette was going that high up? 15 to 20, we were thinking overall. You want number 6, get another defenseman. Right-handed D-man here, and Jamie Drysdale, the best defenseman in the 2020 draft here. And that's Jamie Drysdale, who played for oh man, I just lost the team he played for. He'll probably come back to me. But great defenseman. And having Seider and Drysdale, that would be great. It'll be a win-win for Steve Eisman. I know people are like, oh, are you kidding me? Why'd they fall to number 4? But the thing about number 4, you can go for Drysdale, you can go for Raymond, Rossi, Holtz, Perfetti, any player you want. you have such an option to go after. And if such a Byfield comes to number 4, which I don't see, then you go pick one of those, of course. But, you have such a great selection. You want a D-man? Hey, Drysdale or Sanderson. You want an offensive best goal scorer in the draft? Holtz. You want a dynamic center? Rossi. You want a great dynamic winger? Raymond. You want a fantastic center at times? Also like Rossi? Cole Perfetti. Literally, they have a great selection. They can pick whatever they want. Number 3, here we go. Like I said, things can keep changing every week. Number 3. That's Tim Strutzler. Now, Tim Strutzler is a great left winger, great German player. Before the season started last year, he wouldn't be this high up. Now, look where he is, number 3. What a great German player he is, and trying to compete for that number 2 spot with the Kings. For going number 2. So we'll see what happens. But you probably know who's going number 2 in this, because it's kind of obvious by now. So Strutzler will be a great player for the Ottawa Senators. Imagine Strutzler and Raymond. Offensive. Perfect. Literally, it would be great to have those guys, and would bring great offensive ability to this team. And man, Senators would just become even better as they are. Could you both have them play next year in the NHL? Maybe one over the other, maybe Strutzler over Raymond, maybe Raymond plays another year, maybe in the AHL, maybe in junior. Strutzler, same thing, who knows what's going to happen, but that would be great. It would definitely be fantastic. Number 2 is Quinn Byfield, 6'4" Canadian center. This guy is fantastic. He can score. He's a big defensive guy. People are saying, can he translate so well to NHL? We don't know. Yeah, he will. Okay? Yeah, he will. Okay? So, he is a great big center. And if you don't see him put up points, he's doing great defensive work. But he's a great center, wins faceoffs, big guy. And having Byfield, Turcotte, Kupari, Velarde, my goodness, you have a great prospect pool. Even before this 2020 draft, Kings already have a great prospect pool. They're already set. Adding Byfield and Strutzler to the mix, that's even better. Literally. And having multiple second-round picks, even better. My goodness. Number 1, I don't even have to tell you who it is. Just close your eyes and say Lafreniere, right? Yeah, you got it right. Lafreniere. Yay. Right? Lafreniere would be that guy. Number 1 is definitely Lafreniere. You have a great prospect pool with the Rangers. Absolutely fantastic. You got Capo Caco. Second overall last year. Now you got first overall in Alexis Lafreniere. That is absolutely fantastic for the Rangers. And great young goalies in Shesterkin and Gurgiev. Great on defense. Keandre Miller. You have D'Angelo as a young guy. Well, not a prospect. You got Niels Lundqvist. Also, you got Kratzov. You got fantastic players. So, that's what it's great. Let me know, Constable, what you think about this. Like I said, it's going to change for next week. Not one player is going to be in the same team. It might be. The Rangers, definitely. I'm going to take that back. The Rangers will. But any other teams, potentially, things will change in this. So, I want to get all the possibilities of who gets what. I'm going to try to do twice a week. I want to before the draft. But I want to see what happens. You'll see. You'll see me upload. That's why you put that bell on so you can get my notifications for my great videos. Like the video, ding the bell, comment, share. Have a nice day. Try to get 300 subs. 6 more left. 300. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Goodbye.